Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As you can see, today I'm sitting outside in the hot sun as the weather has finally realised what time of year it is, June, and the sun's shining in my eyes, which is actually a really nice change after all the rain. But anyway, on with the video. I'm going to talk about horse racing because it's a form of animal abuse that is often overlooked, and that really bugs me because people don't realise that it's actually a form of animal abuse. Lots of people that support it, they might be vegetarian or have a plant-based diet even, because it's easy to realise that eating the flesh of dead animals or eating their secretions is unethical even. But people don't realise about horse racing. They think that the horses enjoy it, that they want to be raced. They think that it's very rare that the horses die. They don't realise that the horses that aren't good enough for racing in the industry's eyes end up in a slaughterhouse just like farm animals, and that the horses are selectively bred for the purpose of racing, just like chickens are selectively bred to produce lots of meat, etc. So they don't it's a connection that a lot of people don't make. It's easy to not notice. People don't realise that it actually hurts the horses when they're whipped, because they have very thin fur, and the whips actually reach around their under their tummies where they've got even thinner fur. So actually I don't know if you call it fur or hair for a horse, but anyway, there's a lot of abuse that goes on in the industry that people are just blind to, that the industry tries to hide, and people just don't realise they're oblivious. Just like in the dairy industry, racing horses are forcefully impregnated, and that's not an ethical procedure, and have their babies taken away so that they can train the horses from as young as possible to be able to run as fast as possible. So anyway, it's a really unethical industry, and it needs to be fought against. And today I went to Royal Ascot to protest, because obviously they've got loads of horse races happening at the moment, and there were only two of us. It's a Saturday, by the way, today, and you'd think on a weekend there'd be a few more protesters, but there was only two protesters campaigning for the horses outside Royal Ascot, and obviously loads and loads and loads of people going in to enjoy watching the horses being raced. So it's just really disappointing, because even other single issue campaigns get more protesters than two, like zoo nights for example. Luckily I went there last night and there was over 20 protesters, which was really, really good to see, as London Zoo, if you don't know, are hosting parties on Friday nights at the moment. But anyway, back to horse racing. Other times as well that I've been to horse racing protests anywhere, there has been only a handful of activists, and it's a real shame, because it's just as important as other single issues. So if you're watching this, don't support horse racing whatever you do. Don't even go to horse racing events, even if you don't place bets. Being there gets the numbers up. If you're not convinced that it's unethical, then look it up, honestly. And secondly, support anti-horse racing campaigns. Go to protests outside horse racing events. Organise one if you don't know about one. Attend. Numbers need to be higher. Today, for example, as there was only two of us, I didn't have as much confidence as a protester as I do when I'm with more other protesters. Moral support is really valid. The more people that are there standing with you when you're protesting, the easier it is, I find, to talk to members of the public. I have so much more confidence with people standing by my side than when there's hardly anyone. So not only it looks good, there being a lot of people protesting an event, not just horse racing but in general, whatever it is, but also a lot of activists like me feel more confident and therefore can do more effective activism when the numbers are up as well. And I had to go a long way for it, and so do other people. Lots of activists go a long way for events, and it's such a shame when the numbers are so low, when more people could go and get the numbers up and make it easier and make it more effective when people have travelled a long way. Not that I mind travelling a long way at all for animal abuse to protest it, but it was just a shame that there was only 2 of us. It would have been much better if there was 20 or more. And also, of course, the more numbers there are at these events, the more likely it is to get media attention as well. So please remember to support your local activism, because where it was, there are some activists nearby, nearer to it than where I am and where the other activist lives as well, that weren't there. They might have had other plans, I don't know, but it's just a shame to think that the only people that did go had to go a long way. So support your local activism as much as you can. Any events that involve animal abuse you know about, that you don't find any protests against online, organise your own. Even if you just start with people you know, try and attract more. Use Facebook, set up events, and any other means of anything, word of mouth, to get more and more people along to these events to fight animal abuse, whether it's horse racing or a zoo or a circus using animals, or a fur shop or a leather shop, or an event that just has lots of meat stalls. Anything, protest it, get numbers up, and help to make the public realise that what they are doing is causing animal abuse. Open their eyes, especially with something like horse racing. Like I said, they do not realise that the horses are being abused. They don't want to be there. Like us, they want to be doing their own thing. They might be having a bad day. They might just want to relax. They might not have slept well. They might just want to be in a field, being able to move and sit down or lie down or whatever whenever they want, rather than being forced to race, being pushed to their limits under the pressure of loads of humans screaming, hoping that the ones they've bet on win, just for a bit of human entertainment, so humans can make money. They don't want to be there. They just want to be free, just like you and me. So don't support horse racing. Don't support any form of entertainment for us that uses animals, or any other forms of animal exploitation. And fight against it. Campaign, protest, get numbers up. That's all I'm going to say for now. Thank you very much for watching. Please click on subscribe if you haven't done already. Okay, thanks. Bye.